De Natura Deorum is a philosophical dialogue by Roman orator Cicero written in 45 BC. It is laid out in 3 books, each of which discuss the theology of different Roman and Greek philosophers. The dialogue uses a discussion of Stoic, Epicurean, and skeptical theories to examine fundamental questions of theology. Description: the dialogue is on the whole narrated by Cicero himself, though he does not play an active part in the discussion. Gaius Velleius represents the Epicurean school, Quintus Lucilius Balbus argues for the Stoics, and Gaius Cotta speaks for Cicero's own academic skepticism. The first book of the dialogue contains Cicero's introduction, Velleius's case for the Epicurean theology, and Cotta's criticism of Epicureanism. Book 2 focuses on Balbus' explanation and defense of Stoic theology. Book 3 lays out Cotta's criticism of Balbus' claims. Cicero's conclusions are ambivalent and muted, a strategy of civilized openness. He does, however, conclude that Balbus' claims, in his mind, more nearly approximate the truth. This work, although not written by an orthodox Epicurean Stoic, is important because it supplements the scant primary texts that remain from Epicureans of Stoics discussing the views on religion and theology. In particular, heated scholarly debate has focused on this text's discussion at 1.43-44 of how the Epicurean gods may be said to exist. David Sedley, for example, holds that Epicureans, as represented in this text and elsewhere, think that gods are our own graphic idealization of the life to which we aspire, whereas David Constant maintains that the Epicurean gods are real, in the sense that they exist as atomic compounds and possess the properties that pertain to the concept, or prolepsis, that people have of them. This work, alongside De Officiis and De Divination, was highly influential on the philosophers of the 18th century. Voltaire called it perhaps the best book of all antiquity. Quotes, "There is in fact no subject upon which so much difference of opinion exists, not only among the unlearned but also among educated men, and the views entertained are so various and so discrepant, that, while it is no doubt a possible alternative that none of them is true, it is certainly impossible that more than one should be so. We, on the contrary, make blessedness of life depend upon an untroubled mind, and exemption from all duties. For time destroys the fictions of error and opinion, while it confirms the determinations of nature and of truth. Because all the sick do not recover, therefore medicine is not an art. Things perfected by nature are better than those finished by art, just as it is better to use no wine whatever in the treatment of the sick, because it is rarely beneficial and very often injurious, than to rush upon evident calamity in the hope of an uncertain recovery. So I incline to think it would have been better for the human race that swift movement of thought, that keenness and shrewdness which we call reason, since it is destructive to many and profitable to very few, should not have been given at all, than that it should have been given so freely and abundantly. There never was a great man unless through divine inspiration." Text: De Natura Deorum, Libri 3. De Natura Deorum, Libri 3. De Natura Deorum, Libri 3. Latin text: mtvliciceronis de natvradeorvmadm. brvtvm liber primvs mtvliciceronis de natvradeorvmadm. brvtvm liber seccvndvs. mtvliciceronis de natvradeorvmadm. BRVTVM Liberty translations to Natura Deorum, Academica, with an English translation by H. Rackham, On the Nature of the Gods, English translation by Francis Brooks, On the Nature of the Gods, public domain audio book translated by Charles Duke Young.